Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you cut through the noise of all this constant innovation, maybe give you a clearer view of what really matters. If you feel like technology is just accelerating like crazy, you're definitely not alone. It's a lot. So our mission today is to give you a kind of concise but still deep understanding of the biggest shifts happening right now. We're diving into the latest McKinsey Technology Trends Outlook for 2025. This isn't just, a quick survey. It's a really in-depth look at 13 frontier technologies, the ones they think are set to fundamentally reshape global business. And this deep dive, it's tailored for you. We want to pull out the most critical insights, the surprising bits, the big questions, basically the strategic stuff without you having to wade through the whole report. Now, the report covers like a baker's dozen of trends, everything from quantum computing to bioengineering. Big stuff. But there's one thing that really stands out. It seems to be amplifying almost everything else, kind of an engine driving the change. We were talking, of course, about artificial intelligence.ai.
We'll explore how AI isn't just another trend, it's more of a catalyst. And then we'll zoom in on two really potent areas it's pushing forward: agentic AI and these application-specific semiconductors.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, the report definitely positions AI as like the central nervous system for so much of this innovation. It's really interesting how it speeds things up, not just within AI itself, but it unlocks new things where different trends meet, like you said, optimizing energy or pushing bioengineering forward faster.
Exactly. And AI moving from, a cool concept to something businesses actually use everywhere that's undeniable now. The numbers in the report are pretty telling. McKinsey found 78% of organizations they surveyed already using AI in at least one part of their business. And looking ahead, 92% of executives plan to invest more in AI over the next 3 years. That's a huge commitment.
It is a huge wave, yeah. But what's also really interesting is, despite all that use, only 1% of leaders feel their companies are like fully mature with AI. So there's just immense potential still ahead, right? We're really just scratching the surface. And it's clear the best solutions aren't just using one type of AI. They're blending things: generative AI for content, analytical AI for insights, and increasingly this agentic AI we mentioned.
Okay, so to really get where AI is going, we need to understand this small model explosion. Sounds intriguing. It's not just about making things smaller, is it? It's about making AI powerful enough to run, everywhere, like on your phone.
Exactly. The small model explosion, it comes from techniques like distillation, where a smaller AI learns from a bigger one, and quantization, which sort of shrinks the model's data size without losing much performance. And this creates these really capable but domain-specific AI models. They're much smaller, cheaper, way more energy efficient. Think Anthropic's Haiku, Google's Flash, OpenAI's Mini, Meta's Llama 3.8b, size for phones. This lets AI run right on the device. Less need for the cloud, which cuts costs, and crucially, latency. And get this, a really key stat here: the cost of running these models, inference costs, they're dropping incredibly fast. A median of 50 times annually.
Whoa, 50 times.
50 times. Think about what that means strategically. That kind of cost reduction makes so much more possible.
50 times is just, wow. That makes powerful AI suddenly much more achievable for almost anyone.
Okay, so beyond smaller models, we're also seeing big leaps in multimodal AI. This is AI handling text, images, video, audio, all together.
Altogether, yes. It's about processing and generating across different modes. Think of models like OpenAI's GPT 4.1, Anthropic's Claude 4, Google's Gemini 2.5. They make interactions much more natural, more like how humans communicate. Yeah. And it's seriously speeding up science, too. Like Google DeepMind's AlphaFold 3. It predicts protein structures, how molecules interact. That's a massive boost for drug discovery, directly feeding into that bioengineering trend.
And it's not just understanding different types of data, right? AI is also getting better at complex reasoning, thinking things through in multiple steps. That's right. It's moving past just finding patterns. Now it's about strategically planning, adapting. It's a real jump in cognitive ability. We're seeing things like MIT's MBTL algorithm making training much, much more efficient, 5 to 50 times faster. Plus, these new deep research tools from Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, they can browse the web, analyze data, write reports, all pretty much autonomously in seconds. Yeah, it's a huge change for knowledge work. Even in coding, AI agents can tackle complex problems now, breaking them down logically. But all this innovation, it requires serious investment. And it's also bringing responsible AI into sharp focus. You've got huge VC funding flowing into Gen AI startups. And the big players, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, they're planning hundreds of billions in AI spending for 2025 alone.
Hundreds of billions.
Yeah. But alongside that, there's this growing push for responsible AI, concerns about, plagiarism, bias, transparency, data poisoning. They're real. You see things like California's AI Transparency Act popping up, demanding disclosures and detection tools. The report stresses this isn't just ethics, it's strategy. Building trust is key for adoption.
That governance piece feels critical. Okay, so building on that AI foundation, let's unpack one of the really exciting frontiers. Agentic AI. What exactly are these virtual coworkers the report talks about?
Right, agentic AI. The report defines them as AI systems that can independently plan and execute complex multi-step tasks. So unlike a chatbot that just responds, agentic AI can actually act. It uses digital tools, browsers, software, kind of like a person would. It builds on those foundation models, the big language models, but then it orchestrates actions to reach a goal on its own.
Okay, it can act in the world. What's the main advantage over, say, just normal automation? And what's maybe the most surprising upside for a business?
I think the biggest advantage is handling unpredictable stuff. Rule-based systems break easily with exceptions. Agentic AI, powered by LLMs, much better at handling variations. And for businesses, maybe the surprising thing is how it uses tools made for humans. Web browsers, forms, enterprise software. No need for custom integrations for every little thing.
Ah,
You can just sort of coach it with natural language like a colleague. It can even show you its plan, which is vital for oversight. And the growth, it's phenomenal. A 985% jump in job postings mentioning agentic AI from 2023 to 24.
yeah.
Over $1 billion in equity investment just in 2024. It's a fundamental shift.
And we're seeing real examples already, right? Like OpenAI operator doing travel booking. Manus AI is a digital teammate. Google Gemini automating browser tasks.
Exactly. Those are consumer-facing, but the business impact is real, too. McKinsey's own Quantum Black Labs used it to help draft credit memos for a bank-boosted productivity up to 60%.
60%.
Yeah. Or Darktrace using autonomous AI agents for cybersecurity, like a digital immune system, finding threats in real time. Salesforce has Agentforce for support tickets, lead qualification. Cursor helps automate coding. These aren't just demos, they're delivering value working alongside people.
That's powerful stuff for individual agents.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something even more interesting, agents talking to each other, maybe even creating their own languages?
Yeah, that's the next frontier, really, building collaborative AI ecosystems. Anthropic has this Model Context Protocol, MCP. Google has Agent-to-Agent, A2A. These are open standards trying to let AI models from different companies work together securely, share data. Think about complex tasks like coordinating a supply chain or finding job candidates. You need different specialized agents collaborating. These protocols are key to making that happen securely and cost-effectively. Now, obviously, this all relies on tech like machine learning, NLP, those foundation models, reasoning engines, tools to monitor them. But as they get more autonomous, we hit some big questions. Failure modes, how much human oversight is needed. And we definitely need strong governance to make sure they operate reliably, ethically.
So all this incredible AI software needs a home, right? A physical foundation. That brings us to the hardware side, these application-specific semiconductors. What makes them different? They're chips built for one purpose.
Pretty much. GPUs, ASICs, they're designed and optimized for very specific tasks, unlike general CPUs. And they are absolutely critical for AI. Why? Because they offer much better speed, energy efficiency, and cost effectiveness for these specialized AI workloads, training the models, running them constantly. As AI gets more complex, the computing demands just skyrocket. These custom chips are really the only way to keep up without energy use and costs going through the roof.
And AI's demand for this computing power is just insatiable, driving innovation in the chips themselves.
Absolutely insatiable. McKinsey forecasts that AI-ready data center capacity, it's set to grow 33% a year on average through 2030.
33% a year.
Yeah, which means by 2030, they estimate 70% of all data center demand will be specifically for AI workloads.
Wow.
So that intense demand, it's forcing rapid evolution in chip design, manufacturing, everything related to the future of compute trend.
And this demand is shaking up the market too. New players challenging the big names.
Definitely shaking it up. You have the tech giants, Amazon with Trainium and Inferentia chips, Google with their TPUs, Meta, Microsoft with Maya, all pouring money into designing their own custom chips.
Right.
They want to optimize for their specific AI, cut reliance on suppliers like NVIDIA, and bring down costs. Even NVIDIA, the leader, isn't standing still. They're pushing advanced packaging tech, like COWOs, to cram more power into their GPUs. But this crucial technology area, it's also facing some major headwinds. Geopolitics is a big one. Tensions, trade restrictions, countries wanting chips self-sufficiency. It's causing supply chain jitters. You see TSMC planning huge investments, like $165 billion for fabs in the U.S., partly for resilience. And there's a serious talent shortage, too. Finding people with the right skills in machine learning GPU design, that's a bottleneck.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. What does it mean for you listening right now?
It's easy to see these as separate trends, but the report really highlights how connected they are. AI, agentic AI, the chips, they aren't silos. AI seems to be amplifying everything else in that baker's dozen and shaping these bigger themes.
That's exactly the key takeaway. When you connect the dots, these broader themes emerge. First, like you said, the rise of autonomous systems, agentic AI plus robotics moving beyond pilots to real use. Learning, adapting, collaborating, changing things like software development, the industrial metaverse. Second, these new human-machine collaboration models. It's shifting from AI replacing people to AI augmenting people, more natural partnerships, technology responding to us better. The line between user and co-creator is blurring. That changes work itself. Third, there are real scaling challenges. The sheer demand for AI computing power puts massive strain on infrastructure. Data centers, power grids, supply chains, talent.
Right. Building all that out is a huge task, linking back to trends like clean energy and the future of compute. Fourth, this growing need for responsible innovation. As AI gets more powerful, more personal, trust becomes everything. So more pressure for transparency, fairness, accountability. It's not just nice to have, it's strategic. It can make or break adoption. And finally, that intense regional and national competition, the race for leadership in AI and chips. It's reshaping supply chains, investment flows. Countries want tech sovereignty, a piece of the action, big geopolitical implications.
It really is a dynamic time, and it raises some huge questions, doesn't it? Things leaders, and maybe all of us, need to start thinking about.
Definitely. The report puts some tough questions out there, like, what are the workforce implications of agentic AI at scale, this mix of human and digital labor? Will it mainly free up experts by automating routine stuff? Or could it displace large numbers of people whose jobs are more structured? That's a big one. And then there are the physical limits. How will supply bottlenecks, AI infrastructure energy needs, and maybe even running out of high-quality training data constrain AI development? These aren't just software problems. Also, how can AI models and their decisions become more transparent? How do we build that trust with users, with regulators? Transparency is fundamental. And back to geopolitics. How will shifting alliances and national policies reshape the global map for semiconductor design, manufacturing, and resilience? Where these critical chips get made matters immensely.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the McKinsey Technology Trends Outlook 2025. Our aim was really to help you get a quick handle on the most important insights from a pretty complex report. And hopefully we've done that. It's super clear that AI, especially agentic AI, and the specialized chips powering it all, these aren't just buzzwords. They are really fundamental forces, changing our world, driving innovation, redefining how we live and work. So, the final thought for you to maybe chew on. As these technologies keep accelerating at this, frankly, unprecedented pace, how will your relationship with technology change? Especially when your virtual coworker can think, plan, and act more and more autonomously. And maybe, what new skills will you need to cultivate to really thrive in this emerging world of human-AI collaboration? Something to consider as you continue your own exploration.
All right, let's get right into it. The tech world is noisy, right? There's a new headline every single day. So today, we're going to cut through all that hype and really break down McKinsey's 2025 Technology Trends Outlook. We're zeroing in on the big fundamental shifts that are actually going to shape our future.
So let's start with the big question the report itself asks. This isn't about chasing every shiny new gadget. It's about understanding the deep currents, the powerful under-the-surface movements that are going to define the next few years. What really matters?
To make sense of all this chaos, the report brilliantly organizes everything into 6 major themes. Now, think of these less as individual technologies and more like, well, like the new rules of the game for innovation.
And here they are. We're talking about everything from autonomous systems finally becoming a reality to brand new ways we're going to work alongside machines. But it also highlights the tough stuff, huge challenges in scaling up, growing competition between countries, and the absolute non-negotiable need for responsible innovation. This is basically the blueprint for the tech world in 2025. This quote, man, it just perfectly captures the so what of all this. It's not just a forecast, it's a direct call to action for leaders. The job is clear. You've got to manage this rising complexity, figure out how to scale what actually works, and most importantly, build trust while the world gets weirder and the lines between digital and physical just dissolve. Okay, so to really see these themes in action, let's zoom in on the most powerful trend of them all, artificial intelligence. The report has a great name for it, a foundational amplifier. That means AI isn't just its own trend, it's the thing that's supercharging all the other trends. And you can see the money backs that up. I mean, the investment in energy and mobility is huge, no question. But look at AI. It's right up there, pulling in over $124 billion. That kind of cash isn't just following hype. It's a clear signal of a massive industry-changing wave that's building. And look at this. This shows that AI isn't some far-off future thing. It's already here. It's officially made the leap from a niche experiment to a core tool for nearly 4 out of every 5 companies. So for business leaders, the question is no longer if you're going to use AI, but how deeply it's going to be woven into every single thing you do. So, with these huge themes in place, what new technologies are actually bubbling up? Let's look at the cutting edge, what's happening on the frontier. There are a couple of really notable trends, but this one could be a total game changer. I want you to meet agentic AI. Now, this is a massive leap beyond the chatbots we're used to. We are talking about AI systems that can be virtual coworkers. They can plan, they can act, and they can execute complex, multi-step jobs on their own, using the same digital tools a person would. It's pretty wild. And the demand for this? It's just exploding. Get this, between 2023 and 2024, job postings for roles tied to agentic AI shot up by a staggering 985%. That's not a typo. It signals a massive, frantic rush to build and use these new systems. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Agentic AI isn't just about ticking tasks off a to-do list. It's about fundamentally reshaping workflows, creating totally new ways for humans and AI agents to collaborate as a genuine team. But all this incredible AI power creates an absolutely insatiable hunger for one thing: computing power. And that intense demand is now sparking another huge trend: the rise of these super specialized semiconductors, chips built for one purpose and one purpose only, running AI as fast and efficiently as possible. Okay, but here is where the real magic starts to happen. These trends are not solo acts. Their true power, the really groundbreaking stuff, gets unlocked when these start to combine and layer on top of each other. A perfect example of this is fixing a machine in a factory. You could have a robot do the physical work, right? And you could have a diagnostic AI figure out what's wrong. But an agentic AI can manage the whole shebang. It creates the repair plan, it oversees the robot, and it even orders the new parts online. Boom. It's a completely autonomous solution, but only because 3 different trends came together. Now, it is absolutely vital to remember that not all of these technologies are at the same stage. The report makes a really crucial distinction between the trends that are scaling right now and the ones that are still out there on the frontier. And this data just lays it out perfectly. AI? It scores super high on both innovation and adoption. It's here, it's real, and it's scaling fast. Quantum technology, on the other hand, has a really low adoption score. Its potential is mind-bending, but for now, it's a frontier technology. It's being built for tomorrow, not for today. So, after all that, what does this actually mean for you? How do you navigate this incredibly complex future? Well, the report boils it all down to 3 essential actions for leaders. At the end of the day, success isn't about jumping on every single trend. It's about being strategic. It's about investing in the right people and the right infrastructure, learning to navigate all the complexity and new rules, and, above all else, building and maintaining trust as these tools get more and more powerful. And that leaves us with one final, kind of provocative question to chew on. In the past, companies were either nimble and built to experiment, or they were stable and built to last. But as we look towards 2025, maybe the real challenge, and the biggest opportunity, is figuring out how to be both at the exact same time.